Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to today's live session. I'm very excited for the amazing conversation that we are going to have today because today we are going to crack what is really the secret formula for getting lucky in life. And I know a lot of you come across many different formulas. Some of them include looking at some magic numbers. If something's appearing on your phone or a microwave like a pattern, oh, that means you're about to get lucky. Or maybe you've watched some of those videos online on YouTube or Instagram where there's someone reading some cards and saying, oh, this card means that. And well, that's fun, that's great, that gets us to feel good about ourselves, and to some extent it works as well. Because of all these different things, we get an understanding of luck that's actually harmful to us rather than beneficial to us. And that understanding is that luck is out of our control. It's something that happens only to few, only to a lucky few, as we say, right? So we assume that luck in our life only comes when we win a certain lottery. Now, for a lot of people, that lottery of luck has many different meanings. The first meaning is the lottery at birth. If someone's born in a rich family versus a poor family, we assume, oh, this person has already won the lottery of luck. Then the second thing is by age or by gender or by profession or by so many other things, what we call privilege or what we call as an advantage, we often assume, oh, that's the reason the person is lucky and I am not, or the other people in the world are not. And while to some extent that does make sense, here's my take on it honestly. Luck is not just about which genetic lottery you win. Luck is not just about, which numbers appear on your microwave or on your phone or when you see the time or about what one card says about you. Luck instead is a manufactured force of alignment that leads to success. I'm going to repeat that again. Luck is a manufactured force of alignment that leads you to success. And that's why my belief and my understanding and my experience of life says this, that luck is something that we have in our control. Look at any successful person, look at anyone who's made it big, and you will see this massive difference in them, that they believe in luck, not as a force outside of their control, but as a force that's completely in their hands, and they can direct it, they can weave it, they can reshape it like a master sailor guides his boat at sea. When we understand luck, we only look at people who have crossed the sea, who've crossed the storms, and who've made it out alive. And we think, oh, because he had the faster boat, that's why he made it. Or, oh, because she was someone who had such a big crew, that's why she was able to navigate the tough seas and make it big. And while, yes, all of that may be true, the one factor that we never get to see is the simple fact that the reason these people made it there is because they manufactured their luck, because they had the skill of navigating through the stormy seas. Think about it. Everybody who makes it on the top gets lucky, or everybody who makes it from one end of the ocean to the other makes it out alive, because everybody who was unlucky or everybody who didn't have the skill, they anyways died, they anyways fell into the sea, anyways their boats capsized, so they didn't make it to the finish line. So what we assume is, oh, they had this special thing, that's why they made it big, or they had so much support, that's why they made it big, or this person is having this advantage that they have this tech job, or they had this funding from Silicon Valley, or whatever else it may be, right? We have all these assumptions. My understanding and my perspective that I want you to open yourself up to today is, what if the only reason these people are considered a lucky few is because everybody else didn't work hard enough to get the skills to not to work hard enough to get the results? By the way, I want to make sure I make this clear. I'm not saying that. But what if the 99% did not work hard enough to get the skill of becoming good at creating luck? And that's why the people who are at the top are at the top. And so, as I said, luck is a manufacturing of alignment that leads to success. And it's a complete departure from our traditional ideas that it's a force out of our control. It's a force that is bestowed upon us by the greater good, by universe, by God, or by anybody else. But it's not. It's completely in your hands. And before this gets too abstract, too surface level, and all that stuff, I want to make this practical. I want to make this real. I want to give you an example of what I mean by manufacturing luck. So let's take two people as a case study, okay? Person one is building a business and he's very excited. He knows what he wants to do. He's going after it. He's taking the shots. He's pitching to investors, getting rejected every single day. Through every rejection, he's learning what to do, what not to do. And yet, he's relentlessly pursuing investors. He's relentlessly pursuing customers. And then he gets the big break, and he gets funding from one of the biggest VCs known in the nation, in the world. And there, then, people see and people say, oh, he must have had a connect, and that connect got him this breakthrough. Fair enough. Let's assume that for a second. But now let's take another startup founder, okay? Let's say this founder applied like 5, 10 places, tried, didn't really go all in, had his own thoughts on why it would work, why it wouldn't work. He himself didn't fully believe in the idea. His own energy was blocked, because of which he was underconfident and he was not able to believe in it. So even if he applied, he didn't get it. And then he sees this story. And the story is of this young founder, this young person who got the lucky break, who got the funding. And then when he's reading the newspaper with that news, he's thinking, that guy's idea is not even half as good as mine. How in the world did he get the funding? He must have had something. He must have pulled some strings. And well, that's good for ego. Again, it's not leading us to improvement. What I want you to see here is we only look at the end result and judge whether it was lucky or not by that. What we don't look at is the work that goes in before the luck even happens, is the preparation that goes in before we can even assume whether it is luck or not luck. And that's where belief, that's where confidence, that's where action taking on all different levels matters the most, because luck is nothing but preparation meeting opportunity. So the definition that I gave you is a manufactured alignment that leads to success. But what does manufactured alignment mean? Very simply, preparation meeting opportunity. Because if you're not prepared, you cannot handle what the opportunity brings you. If you're not prepared, you cannot handle the situation in front of you. And for a while, it may feel good to have the achievement, honestly. But I'm telling you, if you lack capacity to handle it in the long term with both good and bad aspects of it, both, you're not ready for it. And because you're not ready for it, that's why you will not progress. That's why you will not succeed. That's why no matter how hard you try, manifestations, luck, seeing numbers on the screen, the matching patterns and the cards and stuff like that, it just won't work. Because what you are looking for, what you're desperate for, is that opportunity, that big break, that's something that gets your foot in the door. But what you're not focused on is, once your foot is in the door, how are you going to keep the door open? That's the long term thinking that actually builds luck. The people who think it through, the people who prepare for it enough, the people who show up are the people who can take enough action to make big things happen. And that's why I admire successful people. I know, okay, some of them have had privileges. I know some of them have had supportive families. But honestly, put yourself in their shoes. If you had it, wouldn't you make an use of it too? Or would you say, no, I don't want my father's money. I don't want my mother's money. I'm going to struggle like a poor person from a slum, start from there, and then build everything again. You wouldn't. Right now, in our high morality, we judge everybody and we say, oh, he's so lucky. What's so wrong about being lucky? Think about it. There's nothing wrong. And I'm telling you, the moment you can learn to manufacture luck, you're going to be on a whole new level. And so the way to do that is simple. First, let go of these old ideas about luck, that it's something bad, it's something for only a few people, it's out of your control. It's literally a force you can create with your efforts, with your preparation, with the actions you're taking for your dream life. And then the second thing is, make sure your preparation is up to the mark. Because if the opportunity comes knocking on your door tomorrow, are you ready to welcome it with open arms? Like for me personally, the reason I'm able to take up so many coaching sessions, the reason I'm able to help people transform and turn around their lives in just 3 months is not because I've just learned the skill of selling. It's because I've learned the skill of transformation. I've come to this point where I can look to any person and I can say, if you are willing, and if you're willing to put in the work, and if you're willing to trust the process, and if you're willing to give your all for the next 3 months, I can promise you, if the results don't come, if you don't change like a new person, it's 100% money back guaranteed. But you need to show up for the next 3 months. It's not that you don't show up and then you say I didn't get the results. I'm very clear on that. But the only reason I can say that is because I've put in the effort to master the skill of confidence. I've prepared enough to bring myself to the level of opportunity where I can manufacture alignment and create luck for myself, create success for myself, which is why I'm now entering into rooms, talking to people, having conversations. 1 year ago, I would have even dreamed of it. What I'm doing right now seems crazy to the person I was at 12 years old when I first started my blog, when I first started my journey. So essentially, what I'm saying is, if anybody looks at my life or my career trajectory and the way I have grown from the age of 12 to 19, they can see the whole trajectory of preparation that's been going on, which I've been putting in for the last 7 years. But if somebody only sees, oh, this person's 19 years old, this person's coaching executives, this person's transforming people's lives, he's making money, he has a profitable business, what must he have done to get so lucky? Something must have been there. Of course, people can assume that. But I know the truth, right? The only reason I got this lucky, the only reason the alignments happened, the only reason the opportunities just opened is because once my foot was in the door, I was clear how to keep my foot in the door. And that's why, if you're someone who's been struggling, if you're someone who's thinking, I'm not getting any luck in my life, learn to manufacture it, learn to create it. The way is simple. Change your associations with luck. Stop looking at it as something you can't control. Start looking at it as something that's 100% in your control, and start manufacturing it by stopping the focus on opportunity and bringing the focus on preparation. I know we talk a lot about how worthy we are as human beings, and that's 100% true. Nothing, and I mean nothing, comes in the way of our self worth, of how valuable we are inherently. But sometimes we take that for granted, and sometimes we assume just because I have self worth that's not dependent on the results means the results should come to me without the work. Sorry, but it doesn't work that way. If you want the results, you've got to put in the work. If you want the luck, you've got to prepare. The question you have to ask yourself is, have I built my skill set to a worthy enough level where I deserve the opportunity? Not whether I am deserving of it or not. That's a different question. But is my skill set deserving of that opportunity or not? There, all of us can be objective, all of us can be real. And if the answer is no, you know what to do. Prepare, work, put in the effort. I mean, we are so antagonistic and effort allergic, it's surprising. All of us want something for nothing, but that's just not how the world works. And the people who are lucky have understood that, and they've made it happen, and they've put in the work, they've put their egos aside, and they have put work first. So if you want to create that luck, take more chances, take more bets, put yourself out there more, prepare more, act more, show up more than the average person would, and then tell me if luck doesn't come for you, because it always will. It always does. Fortune favors the brave, luck favors the high performers. It's simple as that. You can outwork any disadvantage, you can outwork any problem, you can outwork anything that's putting you back. The question is, are you willing to? Because the moment you become willing to, then the energy of the universe aligns in such an incredible way that, like a spiral, like a domino effect, opportunities align, doors open, magic happens, and your life becomes best. But for that, the universe first tests, are you worthy of deserving that luck? Are you worthy of deserving those breakthroughs? Are you worthy, and do you have enough strength of keeping your foot in the door and grabbing those opportunities? And the way to prove that is, focus on the improvement, focus on the core. I hope today's discussion was helpful. I hope you gained a new lens on what luck really is. It's not a mystical force, it's a manufactured alignment of success that happens when preparation meets opportunity. That's the simplest way to understand it. Go out there, apply this in your life, and see the magic that unfolds. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you once again tomorrow at the same time, that is 8:30 p.m. IST. Bye. See you soon.